Hey guys, sorry if lighting is strange here, but I needed to capture this in the background of my video just because this is such a beautiful view. It's always been like a lifelong dream of mine to be able to take my mom on vacation and spoil her and kind of like just thank her for all of the years of putting up with my bullshit. I mean, you guys deal with a lot of my bullshit. Now imagine what my mother has to go through. Lighting sucks. Maybe I should fix this somehow. That's better. Okay, anyways, back on topic. So I wanted to surprise my mom with a vacation to Florida, but I also feel like this came at a really, really good time in my life because I have been going through a lot mentally and even physically, and I needed to just get away from the city because I had something really crazy happen to me, but I kind of feel ready to talk about it here on my channel. I made like 3 videos about it and I didn't upload any of them because I just felt like my head wasn't in the right place and I felt like I was speaking out of emotion and anger too much, and I don't want to do that in this video. I want to come out of this situation a stronger, wiser person, and some people come into our lives to make us learn a lesson, and we don't have to hate those people or be resentful towards them or resentful towards the experience. We should just be grateful that it happened. Don't look back on things in anger. This is just a lesson for next time, and don't let it make you become bitter. Let it make you become better. And that's what I'm trying to do. And yes, right after it happened, I was very angry and upset and emotional, and that's why I don't want to upload those videos, because I feel like I want to be able to walk away from this having learned a lesson and also being able to teach you guys a lesson. There's no point in me posting videos of me being a train wreck, but I'm gonna tell you guys what happened because, as you know, I share my life here on the internet, and this was a fucking crazy experience. And one of my good friends told me, if anything, this just made a great story time video, and just think of it that way. So let me start off by saying I met a guy 3-4 weeks ago on Tinder. I know you all are gonna be judging right off of the bat. He had a way with words. He complimented me a lot. I remember our first date, we spent 7 hours together and it was like so magical. We didn't kiss, we didn't touch or anything. I was really, really into him. We had a lot in common. We had the same goofy sense of humor. He made me laugh, I made him laugh. And after our first date, we proceeded to hang out almost every day or every other day. We were constantly together, and he always made time for me. He said that whenever I wanted to hang out, he would make time for me because he was going to be leaving on a month-long trip in a few weeks. So he wanted to dedicate as much time to me as possible, which I really appreciated. And he just knew the right words to say, which at first made me very cautious because I know guys like that. They have the silver tongue, they have a way with words, they know exactly the right words to say, but it's all talk, and I always believe that actions speak louder than words. So things progressed between us, and he was constantly telling me how he had deep feelings for me, and I began to open up as well, which is really hard for me to do after a lot of the things I've been through in my life. I like to move at a slower pace with relationships because I just like to take my time in getting to know somebody before I commit to any words. So I was just feeling out the situation, and after about a week of hanging out together, there were some definite red flags. It seemed like he surrounded himself with a lot of women, and a lot of the women he surrounded himself with, he told me, liked him or had a crush on him or had previously dated him. And that made me a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm not the type of person who will tell people how they can and can't live their life. So I just decided to accept it, and I said, you know what, he really likes me. He says he has feelings for me. It doesn't matter that all these women around him like him as well. And I'm a very passive-aggressive person, and if something kind of bothers me, I tend to keep it to myself and bottle it up instead of letting the person know. But I felt like it was too soon to express my concerns with him, so I just kind of let it go. But it definitely was uncomfortable, especially because the women that liked him gave me some not so nice looks when we were out together. And it was extremely uncomfortable. And on top of that, he was very insecure and a very jealous person, and if we were to go out with him and his friends, or him and one of his friends, if I would pay more attention to his friend or anybody else, he would bring it to my attention and let me know that it made him jealous. and he also constantly questioned whether I was attracted to him. Very, very insecure about the way that I felt towards him, even though I made it very clear several times how I felt for him. And I'm not really a talker, I'm more of a doer, so if I care about somebody, I'll do things for them. So like, I remember one day I brought like a bunch of material and I made him Nutella cinnamon buns from scratch. I bought him a waffle maker just because I thought it'd be a cute thing to like wake up in the morning and make us waffles. I even offered to go into his work and help him with some social media stuff. I also spent about $140 on his website and ordered products that I was going to, as a surprise, talk about and wear on my YouTube channel in order to show him how much he really meant to me. And so maybe I didn't reassure him about my feelings towards him with words like he did with me, but definitely with actions. And so that is why what he did to me is completely unacceptable and caused me to end all contact with him. We were supposed to go on a very extravagant dinner date on a Monday. I didn't really know much about the place that he invited me to, but my friend Lexi told me that this place is a big deal, that her ex-husband took them there on a second date, and that this was like the real fucking deal. So I was extremely excited. And then he texts me around noon and tells me that he had been out drinking really late the night before and that he was gonna have to cancel plans. So then we decided to reschedule our plans to 2 days ahead. The day of our date, I knew something was wrong. I even asked him, like, you're not gonna blow me off or anything, right? I just had this weird feeling in the pit of my stomach. 3 hours before the date, he texts me to let me know that some of his friends are in town and that he needs to go meet up with them and that he'll have to push dinner plans back a little bit later to 9 o'clock. So I didn't want to be difficult and I didn't want to come in the way of him and his friends. I was a bit disappointed because this is the second time that this was happening, and don't get me so excited to go on a date and do something with you and then just repeatedly blow me off or make me feel like the plans don't matter to you. So he just said friends. I assumed it was some of his guy friends, or maybe his guy friends and some of their girlfriends in town. I thought it was weird that they flew all the way here from the Middle East and didn't tell him until just a few hours ago. So I said, okay, we'll meet up with them and then we'll meet up for dinner. And then I asked him, well, if your friends are here from all the way over fucking yonder, don't they want to spend the night with you? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, are they invited out to dinner with us? And he said, yeah, maybe. And I was like, okay. Well, I had Lexi with me at that point. I said, okay, well, can I bring Lexi then? Because I guess it's like a group event now. And he said, sure. So Lexi and I got ready together and we went to the restaurant, and we show up on time at the time that we had specified, and we wait. There's no reservation, which I thought was weird because this is the type of place where you usually get a reservation. And we waited for about an hour and a half. I had 2 drinks on a mostly empty stomach, so I did get kind of drunk pretty quickly. And about an hour and a half later, he walks in with 5 women. And one of them I notice as a girl that he has told me likes him. So my heart kind of dropped, and I just couldn't believe that he would have the nerve to do this. And he immediately noticed that something was wrong. He saw the look on my face, which was literally like this. We said hello, we shook hands, and I think he started to realize that I was upset. So he took the girls outside and then went back inside and told me that they were going to a different restaurant. And I said, okay, which was funny because I could clearly see them walking to the upstairs portion of the restaurant, so he lied about that. They were still having dinner at that restaurant. They were only having it upstairs in like the exclusive restaurant area, whereas I was in the lounge, which had a limited menu, which I thought was like great. So they're going up to like the VIP section and I'm just gonna chill here, and I just felt like such shit, guys. I felt like fucking garbage, honestly, and I tried to suck it up and I tried to like be happy and have a good time, but I just started crumbling. I started to fall apart the more and more I drank because I couldn't believe that this person would put me in such an uncomfortable situation. He kept going outside to smoke a cigarette, but I would see him go upstairs and like hang out with the girls and talk to the girls, and I knew that his friends probably thought I was a crazy bitch or something, but they didn't realize that like I was waiting there for an hour and a half. This was a situation that I wasn't even prepared for. At least if he had texted me and told me like, hey, by the way, like I'm bringing all girls and one of them is the girl that likes me. Like, who does that? Like, seriously, who does that, right? And then I think the icing on the cake was when I went to the bathroom, and the girl that likes him was also going to the bathroom at the same time, and she noticed I was visibly upset, so she's like, come on, let's go to the bathroom together, like let's talk, what's going on? And she was completely oblivious to everything that was going on, and she told me that although they were an hour and a half late, she had no idea, and that he kept telling everybody to take their time, and that there was no rush, and that they still had 20 minutes. So basically he was late on purpose, and he didn't even care. So I think that's when I lost it, and I kind of went psycho, and I also blacked out, and I don't remember the rest of the evening. I remember texting one of my friends who is from the same country he is from, and I asked my friend, is this normal? Like, is this customary where you're from? And he said, absolutely not, and I know my own self-worth, and I won't be treated like that by somebody. I'm a strong, independent, successful female, and I don't need anybody playing with me or toying with me. I need a strong man with a good head on his shoulders. And I was very mad at myself because I thought that after all these years of all the crap and crazy shit I've been through, that I would know better and that I'd be wiser to these things. But life never stops teaching you lessons. It'll happen all throughout your life where people will throw you for a spin. Pain is like the spice of life. If there was no pain, if there was no struggle, if there was no heartache, there would also be no joy and love. Sometimes the harder you fall, the higher you bounce back. A week has gone by and I am not mad at myself anymore. I know that we are human and we all make mistakes. I don't even blame him, and I'm not really mad at him. I think that what he did may have been a result of his insecurity. Maybe something happened in his life that made him act out this way and makes him believe that it's okay to do things like this with women. And so I don't have any hatred or anger towards him. I just have compassion and understanding, and I really just wish nothing but the best for him. I think that he has a lot of things to figure out, and I hope that by being with me for those 3 weeks, it was a lesson for him as well. And I hope that we both come out of it better people and don't make the same mistakes again with the next people that we are with. I think that in order to fully move on from anything, you need to forgive, and don't forget, always remember, keep it in the back of your mind. Don't ever build up a wall, don't become bitter, become a better judge of character. And I feel like I may not be the best judge of character still, but over time, I am learning more and more. I feel like I've become a lot wiser in the past 4 or 5 years, and I'm not gonna let a person break me. I live by the quote from George Harrison, all things must pass, and they will. Your pain, whatever you're going through, it will pass eventually. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to click the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!